Hey FamBam, how you doing? So in today's video, I'm going to be trying out the new, to me, I think it came out last year, the Colourpop Refresh Hyaluronic Creamy Concealer. I've still got it in its box and I just received it yesterday. And I actually got a couple of other things from Colourpop as well, but I think I'm going to include that, like showcase that in another video. I want to do a foundation test on the Refresh foundation, so that's going to be coming up soon. So because the main thing that's kind of new that I want to try in today's video is the concealer, I want to go ahead and do my base and kind of like eye makeup and whatnot, and then we're going to get to the concealer. Okay, so I hope you're interested in that. By the way, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Esther, MsTopacJay. Okay, and make sure to subscribe down below, turn on notifications so that way you don't miss out on a single video from me. All right, so let's continue. Okay, so I'm actually using the e.l.f. Poreless Putty primer to prime my face today. I'm just gonna push this into my skin with the sponge. I've noticed that when I push this in with a sponge, it leaves like less of a cast, even though the cast is not really too much of an issue because foundation is gonna go over it anyway, and I'm still gonna set it with a powder, but still, like, I kind of like that it reduces the cast that it kind of leaves, you know what I mean? My hair is looking wonky. Like, I was taking down the braids yesterday, the hair that I had on, and then I got too lazy because I was trying to pull it out and it wasn't coming out. I was like, let me just keep cutting it until it's very short. Ooh, yes, skin is looking nice until it's very short. And then I was like, actually, let's just leave it short for a couple of days. I'm tired. I cannot, because once I take it off, I have to put a wig on and whatnot, you know? So yeah. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and color correct a little. I'm actually color correcting using the Lancome Tentador foundation stick in the shade 10 Praline, I believe. So I'm just going to apply this around my mouth because that's the area where I have more pigmentation. I'm gonna put it on some spots, and I'm doing this before I do my eyeshadow. I'm not doing my foundation first. I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyeshadow after doing this and after setting it down. Just a little bit there so that the skin looks even-ish, you know? Just gonna go ahead and dab it in. Am I scented? I hate it when I'm not scented. Ugh, that really pisses me off when I'm editing. The main place I'm worried about, or whatever, is this mouth area. As long as the dark spots, the darkness in this area is kind of reduced or semi-eliminated, I'm good. All right, so for my lid, I'm gonna go ahead and use the Fenty Beauty Concealer in the shade 370. I'm just gonna apply a little there. By a little, I mean a medium amount. I'm gonna dab that in, but not too much because I still want it to be a bit tacky, and I'm not setting it today because the palette I'm gonna use doesn't require, like, I feel like it works better when the concealer is not set. How are you doing? Comment down below. It's currently Saturday and it's 11:22, which is around the time that I actually start filming on weekends. You know what? I had actually planned on doing the colorful eye look today, but I want to try the browns in this palette. I'm gonna whip up something quick. This is the Beauty Bay X NYX Tutorials Pressed Pigment Palette. I keep saying eyeshadow palette. Pressed Pigment Palette. And I kind of slammed it a little yesterday, so the yellow shadow kind of broke. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use these colors. You know what? Let's use this quadrant. Is that what it's called? Let's use this 4 shades. Why not? So first I'm gonna go into the shade Miller, this caramel matte shade. I'm just gonna pick up a blending brush. This is one of those cheap brush from eBay, MSQ, just a tapered blending brush, and I've already dipped into it. I'm gonna use this as a transition shade. My mirror was far away from me earlier, so I couldn't see what I was doing, so I had to go ahead and top up my concealer on my lid. I haven't used this brush in a little bit, so it's a bit skinny. Skinnier than the ones I've been using, but let's stick to it. I'm not sticking to it. I've changed brush to the Morphe E27 brush. Honestly, Morphe brushes, especially these like colored air brushes, I love it. Oh yes, that's it. Okay, here we go. All right, so now I'm gonna go into the shade 5 AM, which is a chocolatey brown matte shade as well, and I'm just using it to define the crease a little more since I already know where I'm gonna go. When you tap it, you get a different kind of color. Do you see that it looks a bit light? When you blend it, it goes deeper. I guess it's interacting with the concealer, maybe. All right, so now I'm gonna go into the outer corner with this Ovoni brush. It's more of a detailed blending brush. And I'm going to pick up the shade Slasher, which is that purpley matte shade, and I'm going to stamp this in the outer corner. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and use this cut creaser tool that I finally found. It's a bit crusty, but there's nothing a little wipe can't do, and I'm going to use it to cut my crease. Okay, that took it higher than I wanted it to. Should have come down a little bit more. Okay, there we go. Now I've got a bit of a guide. I'm going to go ahead and draw over it. Ooh. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the shimmer shade in that quadrant, which is the shade Underground. So we're gonna use a concealer brush to just pack the shimmer shade into the area right here. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and do a wing. You know what I really want to use? The Colourpop liner. Actually, let me just go ahead and use that. So this is the Colourpop liquid liner in the shade Black. This is the outer box, and this is what the liquid liner itself looks like. And it's a felt tip, which I love. And I swatched it the back of my hand when it arrived yesterday. Actually, when it actually arrived the day before, I swatched it back of my hand and it would not leave. I had to go and wash it with soap. Even after I swatched the foundation in the back of my hand and on top of it, it still wouldn't leave. It's got a ball in there, so that's cool. I'm gonna go ahead and use this to draw a wing. I'm starting from the inner corner. Oh, I thought it was black. Well, it is, but you kind of know when a liner is not as black as you would like or as it should be. When you apply it on top of shadow, you can still see a bit of the shadow peeking through. You know, I can still see a bit of my shadow peeking through here, especially the shimmer shade. So I wouldn't say this is like black. This tip is very soft, huh? It's not wet. I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of this liner, even though it seems to be long wearing so far. I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of it because the tip is too flimsy. Too flimsy for my liking. I've got stuff. Oh, I've got fallout over my... You know what I just realized? I didn't set my primer and color correcting foundation or whatever down. It's okay. I'm not really a big fan of it. It's cheap. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do my lashes and I'll be right back. All right, so here we are. Lashes are on. So I feel like there's something off with my face today. I don't know what's going on. Or maybe it's because of this mop on my head. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and set my face, my primer and color correction, whatever, with the L'Oreal. With the Laura Mercier Translucent Medium Deep Powder. Oh, I forgot to wipe out. See, something is off today. I still kept this KVD True Portrait Foundation in its box because I like the outer box. And that's what I'm using. The KVD True Beauty... No, the KVD Vegan Beauty True Portrait Foundation in the shade 10078. Feeling better already. So I've been here just dabbing into my skin for the past 3 minutes. It usually takes me shorter than that. I've just been enjoying it, just enjoying the process, just kind of enjoy the makeup therapy. I think I'm feeling better now. Okay, stop blending. I also like the feel of sponges on my face as well. So yeah, that's my kink. No, my relaxation thing. Okay, so now let's get into this concealer, shall we? The moment we've all been waiting for, the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Creamy Concealer. I don't know why that was a tongue twister to me. I honestly don't know. Anyway, I picked up the shade Medium Dark 120W, and I'm guessing W stands for warm. In the other Colourpop No Filter Concealer, I've forgotten what I used. I've already run out of that. It's literally gone. This one in particular, the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Concealer, comes in 30 shades. I'm gonna look at my notes, and there's 12 shades after this one. I'm gonna put the prices on the screen for you to see, but I believe it was affordable. I mean, Colourpop product is a bit affordable. And this is what the concealer... Ooh, I did open this, but I opened it in the dark. It's a bit light, huh? I might need to conceal first and just use this to highlight. I mean, I've already kind of concealed. But anyway, this is what the concealer looks like. It's very small, huh? But it's kind of girthy, fat, you know? Girthy like me. How many mils? Wow, there's no meal information on the box or the packaging at all. Okay, yes. Only is it 0.23 ounce and 6.50 grams. They said it's oil-free, gluten-free. Why did I laugh? Paraben-free. They said it's ideal for all skin types. And they said Hyaluronic Creamy Concealer, a long-wearing full coverage. We'll see about that. A long-wearing full coverage creamy concealer infused with hydrating ingredients for a natural fresh finish. And directions: prep under eyes with your favorite eye cream. I missed eye cream during my skincare routine. Oh well. Apply concealer to cover blemishes and even out skin tone, and blend using fingertips, beauty sponge or brush. We're gonna be using a beauty sponge. I'm not using my finger today. I cannot. I'm gonna poke myself in the eye. All right, so I've already kind of concealed with the foundation itself because I applied a little bit more under my eyes. Because this is a bit lighter, I would usually like focus these kind of lighter shades as a highlight and then use a deeper concealer as a concealer, you know, to conceal. But we're gonna go ahead and use it. Oh, I thought it was gonna have a huge doe foot applicator, but it's just a standard doe foot. Anyway, let's go ahead. I can still see a bit of that glitter under my eyes. Let me bring this mirror closer. I don't know who I think I am, thinking I can see that far away. This is very bright. I picked the wrong shade. I picked the wrong shade. Oh, you know what? We're just gonna keep it there because it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. It smells like nail polish. Am I smelling my nail? It smells like something close to something I smell in a nail salon. The doe foot applicator. The doe foot applicator is a bit flimsy for me, or maybe because I'm just used to like a thicker doe foot applicator. But it's doing the job. It's applying the product, you know. Okay, we'll see if I need more. All right. Let's go ahead and blend. And a bit of the foundation is still on this sponge, so it should help with the shade a bit. Actually, it's not that bad. I do like pretty bright concealers sometimes, but it depends, you know. Say if I'm just trying to be a little extra. Ooh, is it taking off my foundation? I feel like I can see a bit of my spots up there. Or maybe I just didn't build up the coverage of the foundation itself. Oh, that blended out beautifully on top of my nose. Okay, I love that. So far, I don't like the way it blended out my forehead because there's something a bit patchy there. Or maybe it's because I can see my skin. And maybe it's because I didn't build up the coverage of the foundation. But on top of my nose, it looks good. The shade is actually not bad. Okay, I'm seeing my skin again here. I could have sworn I couldn't see it before I applied the concealer. Or maybe it's not good on top of this foundation. Blending the under eye. This is not full coverage. That's not full coverage. Can you even see the concealer? Do people love this? Have I seen videos on it? Anyway, let me keep going. Maybe I just needed a little bit more because I did apply a little amount. So let's go ahead and just build this up a bit and then leave it to kind of get a bit tacky, to kind of, you know, dry down a little bit and then blend it out. So let's do that. So that might be what. See, even as I'm applying it, I can see my skin underneath still. I don't know how people apply concealer under their eyes and then they say, ooh, that's full coverage. Oh, I guess I know because with the Juvia's Place it's kind of like that. So yeah. Or maybe I'm not seeing the full coverageness because of the shade that I'm using. Because a lot of the time when we're using a lighter shade, especially those of us of deeper skin tone, when we use a lighter shade, the effect of the actual products, like we're not really seeing it a lot. Like we're not really like enjoying the actual effect because it's a brighter shade. I don't know how to explain it. I hope you know what I mean. Yeah. So I'm just gonna leave that under my eyes and then I can't do anything else. I'm just gonna keep watching the YouTube video I was watching. I'll be right back. All right, so now that I did an impromptu contour, why am I doing this? It is a contour. I'm gonna go ahead and blend this out. Let's see, moment of truth. Okay, so that's what it needed. Wow, it feels more, yeah, it definitely dries down nicely, but I can still see the the wetness of the concealer itself. Wow, this is bright. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fix the one on my forehead a little with the Fenty Beauty concealer and my chin. As you can see, let's put a little bit here to kind of correct the brightness of that concealer a bit, because that's a lot, honey child. There we go. Oh, the forehead is looking so much better. It might be because of the light shade, but honestly, if it's not because of the light shade, I don't really like this concealer. Because I'm like, what's the point if it's not going to conceal, especially if they say it's going to conceal? I mean, if you call somebody a concealer as a concealer, if you just say it's a brightener, it's a brightener. Do you know what I mean? But it's working more as a brightener for me right now, especially with the shade that I picked up. It looks good from afar. When I come close, it's definitely creasing really fast, you know? I mean, that's kind of normal, but not this fast, if you know what I mean. So I'm gonna go ahead and set it with a powder. Let's go ahead and use the translucent powder on this side and just see. This is a Laura Mercier translucent honey powder. Okay, it's actually nice. I was gonna use my Dermablend powder just to kind of, cause it has an extra coverage, just to cover the concealer. You know, but that's actually not bad. Okay, that looks good. Or maybe it's because of the Fenty Beauty concealer that I use. But then I only use that underneath here, you know? Just bringing it down. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and finish setting it and I'll come back. I'm gonna go ahead and use the Translucent Deep to set my contour. I feel like I'm not a ball of energy today, but we move. Okay, I'm feeling good now. I mean, my under eye kind of looks a little bit questionable, but it's still not bad. It's not terrible. How does my face look? My under eye. Hang on, let me show you.
Leave it to peanuts. Not peeing on it. Your under eye.
Mm-hmm. Like right here.
It looks highlighted.
Highlighted, okay. Yeah. Such a makeup novice. It looks highlighted. And
Yeah,
I guess that does make sense. Yeah, it does look highlighted. Yeah. Alright, so I've gone ahead and finished the rest of my face, and yeah, the concealer does look okay, but there's still something about it that's really not sitting well with me. Maybe because of the fact that they said it's full coverage, and you guys, you probably already know how I feel about that. Like when I hear that something is full coverage, like a concealer, a foundation, even powder, and it's not, that kind of throws me off a little. So I'll say this is not a full coverage concealer. Again, it might be because of the shade, but nah, it's still not a full coverage concealer. But aside from that, it does feel lightweight under my eyes. It's not creasing too bad under my eyes, which is good, and it's set really nicely with the L'Oreal Translucent powder. Now, would I be reaching for this a ton? I'm not really quite sure yet. I don't know. Let me know down below what you think about the concealer itself. I'm talking fast again. But my skin does look good though, so I guess it's a nice natural kind of finish kind of concealer, if that makes any sense. And the fact that I set it with a translucent powder and it's still looking kind of nice, I would give it that. I would give it something for that. Do you know what I mean? So I'll kind of give it a 3 out of 5 if I were to rate it. Okay, so yeah, that's all from me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, especially this look and my whole face and kind of the way I filmed this video. I feel like it's a little bit all over the shop, but let me know down below what you think. Okay, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, as I said, and as always, whatever it is to love yourself. By God's grace I pray. I'll see you in my very next video. Bye.
Bye.
You're an ass. I'm just blending this into my crease. Alright, so
thank you so much for watching this video.
She said this video. Shut up.
So be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Always remember to love yourself.
Aduduya. To.